I was watching Boris Johnson the other day. Have you noticed? He never combs his hair. And his whole behaviour is of being sorry. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, but I have to do this. And he's very friendly. And that one time they even showed him riding a bicycle to work. He's got that little boy look about him, hasn't he? But don't be fooled by that. That's just all put on for your benefit to bring you over to his side, thinking that he's so defenceless, he couldn't possibly be working against us. Don't be fooled by that. It's nonsense. You know, they're going to make it mandatory soon that you all got to have the injection, because it turns out most people haven't had the injection. Because most people, like myself, don't believe in it. You see, in the past, you had to go through 10 years of testing these substances before they were allowed to inject them into people. Because it takes time to realise if there's any bad side effects. But now they're saying, forget all that, the 10 years. It's okay now, we're going to make something up very quickly in a few weeks, and we're going to give it to you and it's safe. What nonsense. And by the way, you know, not so long ago they was threatening to lock people up if they were caught congregating more than, I think, 2 people in a household. Well, last Christmas he had a Christmas party, and it was 50 people squashed into a room. And when he was questioned about it by the newspapers afterwards, he said, oh yes, but none of them had the virus, they were all okay. One law for him, one law for us, huh? And that's what it's always been like. One law for them and one law for us. The trouble is, people do have this mentality where they follow the leader. And just a reminder, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. It's known as the herd mentality. You should all be frightened. Our freedoms are being quickly stripped from us. And the more and more laws will come in to strip even more freedoms. Look what's happened in Australia. I saw it first on the internet and I didn't believe it. I thought it was a farce. They were clamping down on people, talking about people not being able to move with further than three miles of where they live. And if they need to move across the country, can you imagine the same country, Australia, they would need a permit to get back home. If they live in another state, but they're in another state at the time when this law comes out, they would need to get a permit to go back home. This is nonsense. And they're talking about people not allowed to just sit down anywhere and eat. They have to sit at a proper restaurant to eat and things like that if they go out. These are really scary laws in places like Australia, which has been thought of as the land of the free, just like the West. And now Austria is doing a similar program as well to force everyone to have an injection. I should imagine the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world is behind all this. I mean, the more money they get behind them, the more power they have, because they're handing out all this money to the politicians who are passing these laws. I get annoyed at people sometimes, and I actually start telling them, stop being silly, wearing a mask constantly and being scared and washing your hands constantly. You know, I don't mind getting this disease. I don't want the injection because I've heard some bad side effects with that. And I suffer from asthma, so I don't really want to get the injection. And as I said, you don't know what it's going to do in the long term. I know dogs who are being forced to have injection every year in certain countries. they get joint problems because of these injections. It's just too many. The body can only take so much. Look at thalidomide. That came out after many, many years of testing, but it wasn't 10 years of testing. So you can see the dangers. They're not giving us the free choice as we've always had in the past, which is, look, if you want to protect yourself, we've got the injections here for you. They're not saying that. They're saying, get the injections and you'll be safe. But then they're saying everyone else has to have the injection to make those ones who have the injection already safe. That doesn't sound right, does it? And they're saying to the ones who get the injection, you'll still get the effects of the illness if you catch it, but you won't die. Probably won't die. Also, to make it look worse than it really is, this illness, this disease, they're telling all the doctors and the hospitals, if someone has cancer or some other disease that they die of, if they've been tested positive for this disease, they've got to put down on the death certificate that they've died of the disease, not of cancer or some other ailment they had. Can you see what's happening? What are we going to do? I don't know. If you vote another, all the different governments, they're all the same. No matter which one you vote, the pharmaceutical companies are behind these people. So it's all going to go down the same path. We've got to vote someone in to power who has nothing to do with politics. Someone like me, but more intelligent. Someone like Thomas Sowell. Yeah, Thomas Sowell. Someone like him who can step away from all the nonsense and bring liberty back to us. I can't believe how quick things are changing. I could see it coming, but I didn't think it would come that quick, where they're going to take all the freedoms away. If they succeed, which they are succeeding in Australia and Austria, it's going to go throughout Europe and through England, of course, stripping away our freedom. The trouble is, most of these idiots don't even realise it, and they just accept it. They really think that the government is working on their behalf. It's interesting to note, in the past, if there was a catastrophe somewhere in the world, such as AIDS, the religious people would step up very quickly and say, God is punishing the homosexuals. That's why he's brought this blight down upon them called AIDS. But what's happened to the voice of the religious now? Because this God of theirs has brought this thing down on everybody's head. But they're not saying anything. They're not stepping up. And how about a lot of these religious people? They say that God protects them because he loves them, because they're special, because they're humans. And yet they seem to be running in fear like everyone else. People should always strive for liberty. I do believe Churchill said the following: if giving votes to the working class mattered, we wouldn't have given them the vote. I'm pretty sure there's some truth to that. I feel as if I'm on the Titanic and we're heading into danger. And no matter who we've got at the helm, that ship is going straight for the icebergs. That's how I feel. Whatever's going to happen, it's not going to be good for most of us. Lack of freedom. The ship goes down. All I can say is, put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye.